If you have created a digital product and nobody is buying, or you want to sell digital products but you are confused because everyone on YouTube is literally saying something different, then this video is for you. Now, over the past few years, I have helped people go from zero ideas to actually selling digital products. And the biggest problem I see is not the product, it is the system. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the complete step-by-step system for starting and selling digital products this year. From choosing the right niche to validating your ideas to creating the product and finally selling and scaling it. This is not quick tips video. This is a full course. I've added timestamps for every step, but I highly recommend that you don't skip ahead because every stage builds on the previous one. Now, before we dive in, let me show you how exactly this course is structured and what we're going to cover. First, we're going to cover what digital products really are, how to choose a niche that actually makes sense, how to find a real problem people will pay to solve, how to validate your idea before creating anything, how to choose the right product format, how to create your product step by step, how to launch and sell it, and what to fix if your product doesn't sell. If you skip any of these steps, that is where most people fail. And as we go through this video, you'd understand exactly why. Now, I know this is a long video, but think of it this way. You could spend the next 6 months trying random things, trials and errors, and getting nowhere. Or you could invest the next couple of hours learning a proven system that actually works. The choice is yours. Now, let's jump into the step one. Let's start with the foundation. What are digital products? A digital product is not just a PDF, it's not just a video, it's not just a template. A digital product is simply a solution to a specific problem delivered in a digital format. And when you understand this concept, it would actually help you create better digital products. Now, here's why most people fail. First of all, is that they don't understand that a digital product should solve a specific problem. So they create a digital product that solves 5-6 problems at the same time, making it too broad and dissolving its value. Another reason most people fail is because they start by asking, what product should I create? Instead of asking, what problem am I solving? This mistake alone is why so many digital products never sell. Let me give you an example. Imagine somebody creates a beautiful 50-page ebook on productivity. Beautiful, used Canva to design and all of that. They spend weeks designing it, writing it, making it look all perfect, but nobody buys it. Why? Because they never asked what specific productivity problem does this ebook solve. So they create a very, very broad and vague digital product, hoping that everybody wants productivity, so everyone should buy. If you're creating a digital product for everybody, you are simply creating for nobody. Let us compare that to someone who creates a simple 10-page guide called the 5-minute morning routine for people who hate mornings. Now, it's the same topic, productivity, but this time, this one solves a specific problem for a specific person, and that is the difference. The format is secondary. The solution is primary. People are not buying products, they buy solutions. So before you think about whether you're creating a course, an ebook, or a template, you need to know exactly what problem you are solving and for whom. Once you understand this, everything else becomes easier, including niche selection, validation, and selling. And I'm going to be talking about all that in the coming steps. And that brings us to the next step, which is choosing the right niche. One of the biggest myths online is that you need to be extremely passionate or world-class expert to sell digital products. You need to be certified in something. You need to have some form of expertise on something. Actually, you don't. What you need is a group of people with a shared problem that you can help solve. That's all. Your niche sits at the intersection of what you know or are learning, what people already ask you about, and what people are actively struggling with. Now, I'm going to break this down with a real example so you can understand better. Let's say you recently learned how to use Notion to organize your life and your daily work. You're not necessarily a Notion expert, but you know how to use Notion. You're not a productivity coach, but you know how to use Notion. Probably you've been posting content on how you set up your workflow to ensure productivity daily using Notion. And 3 people ask in your comment section, hey, how did you set up your Notion workspace? That's a signal, because that tells you that there's a group of people, probably beginners, somewhere who are struggling with something you now know how to do. That is enough. You don't need a PhD. You don't need 10 years of experience. You don't need 5 years of experience. You just need to be one step ahead of the people you are helping. Now, if you are a beginner, it's actually better to niche down, not up. So instead of saying I help people with business, you want to say I help new freelancers land their first 2 clients. That is actually more niche down and more relatable to people. Instead of you saying I help people with fitness, there's a whole lot of things involved in fitness. You want to say I help busy moms work out at home in 20 minutes daily. That is much more niched down and appeals to much more specific people, that makes your product much more valuable to them. The more specific you are, the easier it is to find your people and the easier it is to speak directly to their pain. This is one of the reasons my first digital product failed, because I generalized. I felt I could target a lot of people. I could open the bracket. So I created a digital product on how to make money online. You can see how extremely broad that is. So it watered down the value of the product. And at the end of the day, I spent weeks creating it, designing it, editing it, pushing it out. I didn't even validate, I didn't test it. I just felt, since everybody's interested in making money online, let me create an ebook on that, and it never sold. Now, here's a quick exercise I want you to do right now. I want you to pause the video and write down 3 things that people have already asked you for help with in the last 6 months. It could be anything. Don't think of it as it must be something really quite complicated. There are a lot of things that you think everybody knows, but everybody doesn't know. There are a lot of things that you know, but people wish to know it to that extent you know. You may not even consider yourself as an expert, but if people could just get that same iota of value, that same iota of knowledge that you have, they will be willing to pay for it. So it could be anything. It could be how you edit your videos. It could be how you create your content. It could be how you budget. It could be how you script your videos. It could be how you meal prep. You want to write them down. Those are strong niche signals. I know you might be thinking, okay, what if nobody has asked me anything? Maybe you don't really have a tangible number of social media followers and nobody has really asked you anything, none that you can recall, of course. What you want to do is you want to write down some things that you have some tangible knowledge or experience on. Like I said, you don't have to be an expert in it. So I'm just going to be writing a few things just for the purpose of this video. So let's say I know how to use Canva to an extent. I don't have to be an expert designer. So I'm saying, okay, I know how to do social media designs with Canva. So I'll say Canva social media design. So maybe the next one is more like, maybe I was struggling with a certain weight and I wanted to drop it down a bit, and I was able to lose weight without hitting the gym. That is like a success. I don't need to be a health expert. It's something that worked for me. So I'm going to say lost weight, no gym. Maybe another thing that I've been success with is I kind of lost my hair edges and I was able to grow them back in less than 2 months. That is like a success for me. So I can write that down. So you can keep going down and down with all of this. It could be probably you are a mother of 3 and you were able to know how to get your toddler to sleep even when they won't stop crying. And a lot of parents complain about that early phase where they don't sleep, and you knew how to get your baby to sleep. That's like a success. So you can write that down. So all of these are unique niches that you can go with, and these are strong niche signals. Now, of course, you want to write as much as possible if you have more. And I'm not saying just because you wrote them down, you start creating digital products on all of them. No. The thing is that one or more of this could be your digital product niche. So you don't just go ahead to create. And I'm going to show you what we're going to do next. So let's say we're going to pick one. For instance, we're going to pick the first one, Canva social media design. Now, even with this niche, there are still different problems. Some people under this category want to learn how to create their first post. Some want templates to save time. and some want to understand the design principle. If you are trying to solve all of them at once, your product becomes too broad and it doesn't deeply solve anything. And also, if you choose the wrong problem, you can still fail. And that is what we're going to be covering next. Now, this section is one of the most important parts of this entire course because not all problems sell. Just because you think it's in existence does not mean that it is something that people would exchange money to get the value. Now, a sellable problem is, first of all, painful, meaning that people are frustrated by it. Secondly, it is specific, meaning that they can clearly describe it. Thirdly, it is urgent, meaning they want that problem solved now, as soon as possible, not someday. And fourthly, it's already being talked about, meaning that people are actively searching for solutions. Now, let me show you how to find these problems. The first step you want to do is you want to go where your audience already is. And when I mean your audience, I mean your typical audience for that particular niche that you first of all pick. In our instance, we picked Canva social media graphics. And one way you can find your audience is you can go to YouTube and search like Canva social media design tutorial or phrases similar to that. Now you're going to go scroll down, and what you want to do is you want to pick the most popular videos, the ones that have quite a tangible number of views, and which means they're going to also have a tangible number of comments. Now I've picked this video here and I'm going to be scrolling down. Now what you're going to be scrolling down to look out for is, first of all, comments that are most recent. The highest should be at least a year ago. You shouldn't be looking at comments that were asking questions or that need a problem solved for about 7 years ago, because that problem may not still be existing in real time. So you want recent comments. You also want comments that ask a particular question in line with your niche. So now for this one, I didn't really get any problems or any questions in regards to the niche that we are kind of going for. Again, I'm going to go check another video, and this is like a short that's showing people how to create a social media post design. So I'm going to go ahead and check the comment section. So I've checked this particular video also, and I couldn't really find specific problem relating to the niche that we're looking at. I'm going to check another video, and this is a video on how to use Canva for social media templates. And I'm going to scroll the comment section. This has just 2 comments, and there's literally no problem that people are asking that needs solved in relation to the niche we're going for. You can also use Google and YouTube search suggestions. So I'm going to go to, first of all, YouTube, and I can see Canva social media design tutorial. You can see for beginners, social media post design tutorial, Canva hacks design tutorial, social media post, Canva social media designs. These are auto-complete, and they represent the searches or the top searches that people are actually searching for in line with this phrase that you have mentioned. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to get a fresh Excel sheet. You can also use Google Sheets. That's a freer version. And what you want to do is you want to create like a table, serial number, problem, and number. The problem is where you write what the pain points are, and the number is where you are going to write the number of times that it appeared in that exact format. So the first one is Canva social media design tutorial, and we can also say Canva social media design tutorial for beginners. Remember, this is one and this is one. Again, we can say Canva social media post design tutorial, and we're also going to write one here. We also have Canva social media design. We'll still take it as Canva social media design tutorial, so I'm not really going to say that. However, we're not just going to take these to heart because these are like top searches in this particular category, and we cannot exactly tell the number of people that have searched this. We can also use Google and say how to design social media posts on Canva, and I'm going to click on enter. And what you want to do is you want to scroll all the way down to people also ask. You can see how to use Canva to make a social media post, how to make social media post design, and Canva AI. Does Canva have social media template? So these ones are problems. This is just like a question, and I'm going to put one here. Again, I'm going to go back and say how to make social media post design. For this, I'm also going to put one. Now, we've tried Google and YouTube search, Then another thing that we can look out is browsing online communities. Honestly, if you ask me, I would say you should do all of these steps. You can browse online communities like Reddit, Facebook groups, Quora, wherever you think your audience hangs out. You want to look for posts where people are asking for help. So I'm going to head over to Reddit now. So now I'm seeing how to use Canva for social media designs. And you can see a number of questions here. You could also check communities, but there's a whole lot of questions that we're going to find under those communities. And I really want to filter them down. And I'm just going to see how to use Canva for social media design. I can look through it. That's where you're going to see questions. You can see beginner here. Is Canva a good place to start for social media design? Canva to create social media content. Is Canva a good place to start? Is Canva a good place to start for social media design? You can see how do you come up with creative designs for social media posts. We can simply open up the question here and I can copy this and paste it over in my spreadsheet here like so. Again, when you scroll down, you want to check if other people have similar questions. You can see here, this person is also saying, this is my struggle too. I hate the idea of stealing other people's posts or what is trending. I wish I had a creative brain. So now that makes it 2 because this person said this is my struggle. So we're going to add 2 here. Again, we're going to scroll down and we're going to see people have similar or other questions. So that was all of the problems I was able to find under that Reddit post. Again, you can go back and see other questions people ask. So you can see this is another question under another Reddit community. You can see how to come up with creative design ideas for social media. And I'm going to open it. This was posted by someone else. And you can see it's 7 months ago. It's also quite recent. So I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to paste that here as well. I didn't find any other further questions in the comment section. I'm going to go scroll again. I didn't do this earlier, but what you want to do is filter by past year. Like I said, you don't want to go looking for problems that were asked 6 years, 7 years ago. You need problems that are recent. People want it solved right now. So you can see, how do you guys make creatives? Do you use Canva? So you can see, I'd love to get better at creating Facebook creatives. But honestly, most of what I find is just people trying to sell posts or other shitty stuff. What does your workflow look like at the end of 2025? Are you using AI to create a base and then refining it heavily in Canva or something else? So I'm going to just copy this here. This is a question, how to make creatives. Facebook, since he spoke on Facebook in his actual question. So I was scrolling through the comment section. I didn't really see questions. I only saw answer to those questions. So this is literally what I'm going to be doing. Throughout Reddit, I'm going to go off the camera and just keep searching for Reddit questions, and I'm going to compile them before we go on to another online community. So I finished checking Reddit. Another online community that you can check is Facebook groups. And I've searched Canva designs, I've searched Canva social media designs, and these are a number of groups I saw, and I've been trying to check the questions, but I haven't really found anything relating to people requesting to be taught how to create social media designs. These are some other communities as well, and honestly, I feel like if it was really a problem, it's not going to be so hard to find. And so far, this is what I've come up with. I came up with just 8. And of course, if you recall, 3 of this is from YouTube autocomplete, and 2 here as well is from Google People Also Ask section. And honestly, if this was me working on this, I wouldn't really go ahead to create any sort of digital products, teaching people how to create social media designs or how to create templates on Canva, because it just goes to show that it is not a painful problem, an urgent problem, and it is not really talked about. And most of the questions people have asked, a lot of people just are willing to opt to YouTube to learn. So there's nothing really painful about it. So in my own opinion, I would just simply strike this out. This is why I told you that these are niche signals and not necessarily digital product ideas that you should go ahead and start creating a digital product on. Now, the next one we're going to be looking at is, weight loss without going to the gym. Now, this is also a niche signal, and you need something really specific. What exactly are people asking? So I'm going to go back and do the same process by checking YouTube, by checking online communities and all of that to see what people are legit talking about. So you can see these are really top videos. I searched weight loss new gym. These are top videos. So I'm going to be opening it to see the comments. So I didn't really find any much questions. People really just enjoyed the video. I'm going to check this one out as well. Let's see. So I'm checking through the comment section, even though a lot of people are just really sharing their own experience. What works really fast is by checking communities, because then people are really asking questions. So here I'm just going to say lose weight, low gym, and I'm going to also filter by past year. Already we can see people asking questions. So if I open this right now, I can see people asking, I'm a vegetarian, I do not eat any type of dairy products or meat. I tried going to the gym, but 2 days later I'm done. I need advice on how to lose weight quickly, as I've recently been married and I'm literally deshaped right now. You can see this is somebody's pain point, and we're going to go start compiling them again. We're going to be using the same format that I used here, and I'm just going to copy this as well, and I'm going to post it here. So the question here is how to lose weight quickly. So we're going to paste that here. If you recall, his question is lose weight without gym, so that is super important to put. And the number is of course 1, because we're just starting out. So I'm going to go to the next one because I did not see any further questions in the comments. You can see someone else asking, anyone lost weight with no gym or workout at all? I'm going to open it. You can also see weight loss advice. It's a Reddit community. I can also open that, where I'm going to see different questions with regards to weight loss. This person is a female, and this person wants to lose weight in a healthy way, and this person doesn't have time because of studies. So I'm going to copy this. You want to copy the exact pinpoint the way they said it. So if somebody says I want to lose weight quickly, and somebody else says I want to lose 10 pounds to 15 pounds in about 3 weeks, in as much as they are both under the umbrella term of losing weight quickly, you want to both copy them in the specific way that it is asked. I'm going to show you why this is important much later. So I'm going to be copying this. So she says I want to lose 10 to 15 kgs. I'm not really going to add by the end of July because it feels a bit too specific in dates. So she wants to lose weight 10 to 15 kgs the healthy way. You don't exactly have to write everything, but you could just summarize what the person is saying in just one sentence. So I'm also going to this Reddit community that says weight loss advice, and I'm going to be scrolling down to see questions that people have. So we want to be looking for seeking advice. This person is giving advice, and we need people that are actually looking for advice, looking for solutions. This person is saying I need some meal suggestion for a calorie deficit. So I'm going to be opening this, and I'm going to copy that as well. You can see that this is still under the umbrella term of weight loss. Some persons need meal plans. Some persons need just the advice how to lose weight. Some persons, want home exercise, stuff like that. So you want to try to check what is the exact pain point that most people are looking for. I'm going to be scrolling down the comment section to see if people have any further questions. So I didn't find any further questions. I'm going into the next one again as well. How do I stop wanting to eat? You can see this is another question. So you'll be amazed how much specific questions people have with regards to that umbrella term of losing weight. So I'm going to copy this. How do I stop wanting to eat? I'm going to paste that here as well. I'm going to scroll the comment section to see if there are any further questions. Again, I didn't see questions, so I'm going to scroll down. This is how I'm going to be doing. This may look like it's taking time, but honestly, it's going to save you weeks of wasted effort. So I've gone off the camera and I made use of Reddit. I didn't even use a lot of Reddit communities because there are a lot of it. When you scroll down, you're going to see a lot, and you're going to see all of them from different Reddit communities. And I was able to get quite a number, at least for the purpose of this video. And for this stage, I employed that you do not use AI. Do not just go ahead to ask AI, give me pain points that people will need with regards losing weight. ChatGPT is just going to give you over generalized pain points. Instead, you want to go out and see what people are actually typing. So now you can see that I've done up to 33. You want to have like a sample size. I usually advise that you take quite a tangible sample size, maybe like 100 or 70, but I'll be doing 50 for the purpose of this video though, even though I think 50 is quite small. But the larger it is, the larger opportunities you'll have to be able to see repetitive pain point. Now, if you look at all of this, you can see I numbered them, the number of times that they appear. It will not appear in the same language. All of them will not write it as I need meal suggestion for calorie deficit. Some of them may put it in, an explanation. You just need to understand what they're trying to say and categorize them. And if you see some are marked 1, some are 2, some are 3, and all of that. But if you look closely, you can see one that appears more, which is 6, trying to lose weight, but the weight has been steady. So quite a number of people say they've been trying to lose weight, but anytime they try to weigh themselves, it seems like they are not making any change. Even when they've been working on their meals, their calorie deficit, and they've been doing quite some simple exercises, they are not losing any weight. So that's what has been more prevalent more than the others. So like I said, you don't just want to use one online community. And now we're going to go ahead and check out Facebook. So what you want to do is you want to head to Facebook and head to groups. Under the groups, you can search weight loss new gym. Under all, you're going to see quite a number of groups, endless. So you have a lot to search from. Now I'm opening this one, and in this one here, there are quite a number of posts. But this is one question someone asked. I've joined this page with hope to get some inspiration and advice. I'm 42 and I'm going through perimenopause. If you can look, it's 5 hours ago. The person says he also has ADHD. He says, I love food. I really feel full, which then results in snacking, blah, blah, blah. I really don't know where to start with exercising and eating. So the person's pain point is that the person doesn't know where to start with when you're exercising and eating. Now I'm going to go back to my spreadsheet and I'm going to look for something that falls under that category. So if you cannot find any exact category, you're going to add that yourself. So I can categorize it as gaining weight but don't know where to start with exercising and eating. So again, for all of this, I'm going to categorize them as 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. It appeared once. So you can see on that question, it says, I'm new to the group, but I'm hungry and dedicated. The end goal is to lose body fat, gain muscle and tone. When I can't get to the gym, I put in work in my basement. I'm new to this, so any suggestion, I'm open for it. So the question or the pinpoint here is basically how to lose body fat, gain muscle and tone. If we go back to our sheets here, we don't have that exact pinpoint. So I'm just going to add it down here. So this person says, I want tips for waking up at 5 a.m. to go to the gym. So the pinpoint is basically consistency. And I'm just going to add that here. You can see on that question here, best and efficient way to lose stomach fat. So I'm going to copy that. Again, we're going to go scroll down. You can see how do you deal with saggy skin after weight loss. You can see what's the best calorie counter app, as I've tried it 3 different ones, all telling me different calorie intake. This one is also a question more with regards calorie counting. And you can see here, use of calorie tracking. I'm going to just add it here as 2. So this person is asking, is fasting a good way to lose weight? And how should I go about doing it? He says, I eat less calories, but not losing any weight. So that means his weight is stuck irrespective of trying to lose weight. So first of all, there are 2 questions here. Is fasting a good way to lose weight and how to go about it? The second pinpoint is I eat less calories, but not losing any weight. And that is here where he's trying to lose weight, but weight has been steady. So I'm going to add that as 7. So you can see the numbers for that is already going up. So this is how I'm going to go about it again as well for Facebook. I just did a few so you can understand how it works and how I'm doing it. But keep in mind that you are looking for as recent pinpoints as possible. I guess this would already round up to 50. If you are not able to get up to that amount, you can also go check on Quora. Quora is also another community group. So you can just simply type Quora.com and you want to search in your keyword. So I can say lose weight without gym. And you can see a lot here, a lot of questions right here. So I'm going to go off the camera and get that completed. So I've collected other problems on Facebook. And like I said, I used a sample size of 50 and I collected it up to this point here. Other ways that you can also find problems is by studying products that already sell. So you can also go to Etsy, Amazon.com, Udemy, Skillshare, search your niche and just look for what is selling well. And of course, read the reviews. And in the reviews, people will literally tell you what problems still exist. For example, they may be saying oh, this template was good, but I wish it included this, that, this. Or they may say, oh, great course, but I still don't know how to that. And that is an idea that will help you to understand where is exactly lacking and the gaps which your digital product can fill. However, the one I would usually prefer and I'll actually advise people to go for is a bit of everything. So you're using every step of this to actually understand the core problem that is lingering on all platforms, whether it's on online communities, whether it's on reviews on other products that are already selling, or whether it is in YouTube comment sections. You need to understand that with digital products, your goal is not to invent a new problem. Your goal is to solve an existing one better or simpler. So now back to our sheet. If you look at it, you can see the numbers vary. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go further and group these particular categories of problems, right? Because now there are like 50, but I copied them based on the way people ask them. But when you recategorize them, you understand that some persons actually want the same thing, but in different languages. So I'm going to go use AI to do that. So I did save the Excel document and I'm saying, hi, ChatGPT. So I'm trying to create a digital product and my niche is the weight loss niche. I'm creating this digital product from my experience. But what I first of all did was I went to online communities to find out specific pain points that people are already asking of that will help me create a digital product. Attached is a document, an Excel document that contains 50 questions or pain points that were asked by people under this weight loss niche and the number of times these questions were asked. Now, I'm aware that some of these questions that were grouped differently also fall under some of the same category. So I want you to go through the Excel document, give me the number of pain points there is, what they are, and the accurate number of times that they appear. Now, ChatGPT has gone ahead to actually give the total overview. And you can see here, I have 49. I think one was omitted, but we're going to work with it like that. So you can see the core weight loss pain points, grouped and accurate count. We have the first one, which is weight loss plateau. That's the scale not moving. And that's 12. If you notice, it's still the one with the highest mention over here. You can see it. And there's also the other grouped ones too. This is just basic advice, general weight loss advice. Then there's the healthy and safe weight loss. And there's also craving, hunger, and overeating control. There's calorie deficit tracking and lumbar confusion and all of that. So now, based on the highest, most prevalent pain point, we understand that it is weight loss plateau, meaning people are trying everything they can, whether it's calorie deficit, exercising, but it seems like their weight is not making any move. Now, we have a problem that we think is prevalent, but here is where most people mess up. They find that problem and they immediately start creating a product. Don't do that, because even if this problem is real, you still don't know if your solution is what people want. And that is why we are going to validate it first. Validation means making sure people actually want what you are about to create. Now, validation is not asking someone, does the idea sound nice? No. Validation is letting the market vote with, number one, attention, meaning do people engage when you talk about the problem? The second one is engagement, meaning that do they ask questions, comment, or even share it? And the third one is money, meaning that will they pay for it before you even build it? Now, I know you may be wondering, okay, all of these things will need some social media presence. How do I actually then sell a digital product without having any follower? You do not need to have any follower initially, but in order to validate your product, you would need the response of some immediate people. And all of this can be done alongside the early phase when you decide on your niche. Now, you do not need to have thousands or millions of followers. Even a small number will do. And all you have to do is, first of all, create a social media account. I would advise you choose just one. It could be Instagram, it could be X, it could be Threads, it could be Facebook. I advise you go with the one you are more comfortable with. If you prefer something where you don't have to show your face, then you may go for written ones like X or Threads. And you want to start validating your idea step by step. So the first method is you want to create content around the problem. That's the prevalent problem that you've already pre-researched. Like doing everything to lose weight, but they're still stuck. So you can start creating content on that. At this point, you're not trying to sell anything. You're trying to get their attention. For example, you could say, oh, I remember when I started my weight loss journey, I got almost frustrated. It got to a point where I will do everything and I wouldn't even see any move on the scale. You could even give a call to action. Has anyone ever felt this way during your weight loss journey? And you're going to monitor the engagement where people may say, I'm currently facing this now, or I faced it. You want to watch what happens. So you don't just create one content, of course. You want to create multiple random content, especially content that will make people engage in the comment section. And with that, you can actually use ChatGPT to craft those kind of content ideas. And I'm going to show you how. So I'm going to tell ChatGPT, now I'm trying to validate this particular prevalent problem, and my social media of choice is X. So I want to create content that would help me to understand people's thoughts on the problem. It could include a mix of my experience plus a few value posts where I could give a call to action and ask people, oh, have you experienced this? More of posts that would encourage people to engage in the comments. So ChatGPT is, giving all of this, and you can see some example ChatGPT gives. There's a phase in weight loss where you're doing everything right, but the scale just stops responding. Did you push harder or did you give up? This is going to make people who are possibly experiencing this to, leave some comments. And there are some here. I used to think weight loss was linear. Then I hit a phase where nothing changed for weeks. You can see experience-based posts. One of the most frustrating moments in my weight loss journey wasn't starting. It was being stuck after progress had already begun. So you can see all of that. You may also want to tweak it depending on your own personal experience or your own personality. And you want to start uploading it. At this point, you're not selling anything yet. You're not even informing that there's a digital product yet. You just want to talk about the problem and hint at the solution. So if people comment and they actually, validate that frustration, that is a sign to tell you that this problem is actually something that they will be willing to pay for. But if people scroll past, maybe you're getting a lot of visibility or quite a number, maybe not a lot, but quite a number, and no likes, no engagement, nobody is even bothered, they're just scrolling past, then that is also validation to say that the problem either isn't painful enough or your solution is not compelling. Another way or another method is you want to gauge interest directly. So after you've created content, you want to ask your audience, I'm thinking of turning this into a full guide on my experience and how I was able to overcome this phase of weight journey. Put a CTA and say, comment the word yes if you would like me to do a full guide on that. If you're saying comment, maybe you get 10, 20, that is a validation signal to say people actually find this pain point painful enough. Now, if nobody responds, even though you are getting some kind of impressions on your post, then you want to pause and figure out why, because that's also validation. That means maybe the problem is not urgent, maybe the solution is not clear. Maybe you need to talk to your audience more first about what exactly they would like or what exact solution they would like for it. Another method you can use is pre-sell the solution. This is the strongest form of validation. Before you create anything, you want to announce, I'm creating a guide on what to fix when you're doing everything right, but your weight just feels stuck on the scale. You can, of course, share in details what it contains, of course, based on your own experience. And you want to say, oh, if you're interested, I'll be giving it for so price. Comment the word, maybe guide, so that you can get early spots. Now, because you are a beginner and you're just new, people do not even know you, you want to put that price at something very low that people can almost not say no to. And you're going to also monitor your comment sections and see the engagement. If people actually comment that word or show interest, that means you are validated. Now you can then go and create it. But if nobody shows interest, you just saved yourself weeks of work, because even if you eventually create the product and you price it appropriately, nobody is still going to buy anyways. Now, once your idea is validated, you want to decide how to package the solution. You want to choose the right digital product format. The format you choose should match the complexity of the problem. If it's a simple problem needs a simple format, and a complex problem would require a deeper format. Now, let me break this down for you. Ebooks work well for explanations and frameworks. Example, if your audience needs to understand the concept, like what to fix when your weight doesn't budge, even though you're doing everything right, it's something that you can explain in an ebook. If you're walking someone or you plan to walk your audience through a strategy, the mindset, something that is educational, but they still have to apply it to themselves, then ebooks are great. Now, the next kind of digital product formats are checklists. Now, checklists and guides are perfect for like step-by-step execution. For example, probably you want to do a checklist on a complete client onboarding checklist for beginners. Your audience do not need long explanation. They don't need to understand the philosophy of it. They just want to know what to do in what order. Now, another kind of digital product are templates. Now, templates sell well because they save time. They are like a plug and play kind of format. For example, if you are doing like a budget tracker, another kind of digital product format are courses. And this makes sense when transformation requires guidance. You need to handhold your audience step by step through the way. For example, if you want to teach people how to land your first freelance client in 30 days, it's not just information because it involves some really detailed guidance. So you're walking someone through each step and giving them feedback. Now, how do you choose what digital product format to use for your digital product idea? The first thing is you want to ask yourself, what does my audience need most? Do they want to understand something? Do they need a clear process? Do they need to save time? Or do they need guidance and transformation? Understanding this will help you know whether to create an ebook, a checklist, a template, or a course for that validated problem. So now that we have figured out the problem, we validated the problem, and we understand the different digital product format, the next thing is for the creation. Now, if you recall, we were looking at weight loss as our niche. Now, for the prevalent problem, which is the weight loss plateau, meaning people are doing everything they can, but they're not losing weight. For the purpose of this video, we are going to assume that this problem was validated and it was, of course, decided that, okay, people actually want a solution to this. Now, the question is, what kind of digital product format would this work? This would work best as an ebook because what people need is really just information. So now that we have our digital product format, the next thing we want to do is we want to start crafting or creating our digital product. The first thing you should think of doing before you start creating your digital product is to work on your title. In my experience, your title is your first salesman, especially if you do not already have an established name before. You're a beginner, you want people to buy your digital product. They won't be buying based on your image or based on the big name you've made or based on your brand. They will be buying based on their perceived value of your product, which is why your title needs to be something that will be compelling, intriguing, and something that would really make them feel like, let me give this a shot. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I want to get the overall idea for the digital product. So I'm saying thank you for helping me recategorize them and for giving me the precise number of the pinpoint. Now, based on the prevalent pinpoint or the top prevalent pinpoint, which I believe is what my digital product should be about, can you give me the core idea overview on what the digital product should be about? My digital product is supposed to be a solution to one pinpoint, so I do not want an idea that covers everything under the sun. Now, the more detailed you are with AI, the better and more refined its answer for you is. And now it has given us like the core idea, which is I'm trying to lose weight, but the scale is not moving anymore. Not like the scale is broken, but I'm doing everything to lose weight, but I don't seem to be dropping, right? AKA weight loss plateau, stock weight. So the core product idea, which is the high level overview, is that it's a practical no fluff guide that helps people who are already trying to lose weight, showing them why their weight stopped dropping and exactly how to restart the process without extreme dieting, gym obsession, or starvation. So the core problem the product solves is that I'm calorie deficit, eating better, I'm moving more, but my weight has been the same for weeks and I don't understand why. So now we have the core idea to this. I'm going to then say thanks. Now, can you give me intriguing title ideas with subtitles? I do not want a no fluff guide or something too generic or AI related because ChatGPT is fond of that. A no fluff guide, a no fluff guide. So I'm saying I need something that appeals to the natural human mind based on that pain point, and a subtitle that would further compel any prospect towards the digital product. And now ChatGPT has given us different categories, why your weights refuse to budge, and all of that. Like I always say, ChatGPT is AI. So in as much as you're asking ChatGPT, you don't always have to take its word for it. You could always refine as you go. And it gives me all of this, both the title and the subtitle. But my challenge is that this is already so long. This is like a paragraph. So I'm telling ChatGPT nice titles, but a lot of them seem really long if I'm supposed to add both the title and subtitle on a book cover. And it's just going to seem all over the place in the design process. So can the titles be somewhat shorter but have that punchy phrase feel and reflect the depth of what the problem is about? And ChatGPT goes to give us some punchy titles with their subtitles as well. And based on all the ideas ChatGPT gives, I then suggest how about weight stock as the title. And ChatGPT came up with its thoughts also that the hyphen makes it feel weird, and it gives its own suggestion to say weight stock that's not hyphenated, which is something I think I like. Really stands out, weight stock, then the subtitle. So I'm saying I'll go with weight stock, what to fix when you are doing the right things, but the scale won't move. And of course, ChatGPT acknowledged it's a strong choice, why it works and everything. It also gives some small refinement, but I think I'm going to go with what I have here already. So now we have decided on the title, which is weight stock, what to fix when we are doing the right things, but the scale won't move. Let's talk creation. Now, mind you, if you recall, we did have like a number of signal niches that we wrote. And the reason why we are going ahead to create is because under what we wrote, one of them became a digital product idea because we found out that there is a problem under this niche and we validated that problem. However, if the second one you list out also turns out to be something that is not worth creating a digital product on, you're going to go ahead and carry out the same process for the third one, the fourth one, the fifth one, as much as possible based on what you've written until you find a particular one that has a digital product idea. Now, when you're trying to create a digital product, you do not need to be perfect. You need to be useful. I see so many people spend months, a lot of time trying to perfect their product, and then they launch it to silence. Meanwhile, someone else ships through a rough version in 2 weeks and they make their first sale. Perfectionism is not your friend here. Usefulness is. Now, when creating an ebook like we are about to do right now, you don't need fancy design software. Yes, having Canva is good, using Canva is good, but you need to understand that the whole essence of creating the digital product is because people are aiming for solution. So don't get too caught up in trying to make it all, full of designs that you actually forget that the major thing people are buying it for is the content. You can actually create in Google Docs, in Microsoft Word, and export it as a PDF, and it's done. In fact, my best selling ebook was done using Google Docs. Now, the first step you want to do is outline your content. You don't just want to start writing, you want to map out your chapters first. And this is why I said in the beginning, write out what you are good at or something you have an experience or knowledge in, because the core of your ebook is based on that knowledge or experience of yours, even if you're going to be using AI to assist. So let's say you are trying to create maybe how to price your freelance services. For example, your outline could look like maybe introduction, why pricing is hard. Your chapter 1, the biggest pricing mistakes freelancers make. Chapter 2, how to calculate your rates. Chapter 3, how to price based on value, and so on and so forth. You want to map out your chapters, but if you do not know essentially what you think each chapter should be about, then don't worry, because that is the reason why we have AI. And I'm going to be showing you how AI can assist you in doing that in a minute. The next step you want to do is you want to write in a conversational tone. Now, before you allow AI to assist you, you need to give AI the core concept, the major idea, the major experience, the major or the bulk of your knowledge that AI is going to build on if AI is to build off that experience or knowledge of yours. So pretend you are explaining it to a friend over a coffee. Don't use jargon. Use something that anybody can easily read and understand. Step 3, you want to add examples. For every concept, you want to give a real world example, something that brings it home, something that makes it more relatable. Step 4 is that you want to format for readability. You want to use short paragraph, add subheadings, bolding key points, add italics, underline major points, make it easy to skim. And the 5th step is you export as a PDF. And now let me show you how you can carry out all of this step AI assisted. Now, I'm going to go ahead and write in a conversational tone to ChatGPT. If you do not know essentially what to write or you have writer's block, I suggest that you just go ahead and record yourself, go freely, and you can use a transcript tool that transcribes audio to write up and give it straight into AI. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give ChatGPT some like major core idea that I want this book to be built on. So I'm going to go off the camera and just add it here. So I'm going to head to write the draft of the ebook, and I'm saying below is the rough draft of my ebook. So I post everything here, and down below I am saying rewrite it in a conversational tone like I'm talking to a friend. Use second person pronoun. Add real world examples to make it relatable, and even introduce my own experience. Now, because this is just for the purpose of the video, I'm saying make up a hypothetical one. But in your case, since you are actually creating an ebook based off a solution that has worked for you or based off your own knowledge, you want to add your own experience where necessary in your own draft. And I'm saying also format for readability. I'm saying don't use M dashes, which is very, very much associated with AI write-ups. I'm saying use short paragraph, bolding key point, use italics and underline where necessary for emphasis. And I'm going to click on enter. Now, you need to understand that not all ebook needs to be formatted chapter by chapter, especially an ebook that just requires a straightforward answer and chapters are just simply going to elongate it. So ChatGPT has gone ahead to rewrite it, and you can see all of this here all written down. So I'm saying now turn it into an ebook version. The beginning should validate the frustration of my prospective audience and position this book as what they need. Tone should be motivating, encouraging, and a bit of tough love to get them moving towards their goal. So I'm going to click on enter. So this is good. We can go ahead and just go with this. We can take this for how it is. But another thing I can do just to refine it, make it more human, is I'm going to head over to Claude AI. So on Claude, I'm saying you are my ebook writer. I'm writing an ebook on weight stock. What to fix when you are doing the right things but the scale won't move. Attached is my ebook. So I copied what ChatGPT already gave me and I pasted it here. And I'm saying I need you to rewrite it to make it more human. Do not change the ebook title and do not add any more subheadings. In the ebook, when I mean the scale won't move, it means the weight remains the same and never seems to be lost after weighing on the scale. Just make it something that my ideal audience will be compelled to read. So I'm going to click on enter. You may want to, of course, and the more a detailed your prompt is, the better the results you're going to get. So you can see here, you're doing everything by the book. You've swapped the donuts for oatmeal. You're sweating through the workout most days of the week. You said goodbye to soda and hello to your water bottle. Can you see how relatable it is? How people can actually read it and say, yes, this is actually me, which makes them compelled to want to, read the book and get the value from it. And this is something that we actually made. So I'm saying nice. Now remove the M dashes. Also format for readability. Use short paragraph, bolding key points, use italics and underline when necessary for emphasis. And I'm going to do that. So now Claude AI has gone to re-edit that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on copy. I'm going to go to Microsoft Word or a Word document. You can also use Google Documents, which is a free version. You can decide to use Canva, but honestly, I'll prefer Google Document because it's much easier to format faster that way. So I'm going to paste everything I have here. And you can see we have quite a number of pages. And of course, now is the time that we want to start formatting. Of course, Cloud AI has already done a chunk of formatting for us. But what we're going to do basically is like increase the font size and change the fonts. For this, I'm going to be using Arial. So we have this here. Let me work on the paragraphing. So I'm going to leave it at 1.5 over here like so. I'm going to copy it again, all of it by clicking Ctrl A. I can increase from 12 to 14 It all depends on, you know, what you prefer. So I'm going to leave it at 14, which is pretty much good. Again, I'm going to copy all and I'm going to justify, which is going to bring everything to, the proper alignment. And what I'm going to do now is to start adjusting the headings as well as the subheadings. This is the title over here, and I can decide to make it uppercase, centralize it, underline it, and of course increase the font size to 20. Again, for this one, this is like a subheading. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to increase the size to like 18. I can decide to underline it and of course make it a new subheading. And what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to take this and click on this format painter, which will help me give the same font size and any other effect to any other, subheading that I want to use. So I'm going to do it for this one as well. I'm going to click this again. I'm going to give a space here, go to the next one. And of course, I will do the same thing here. Click on the painter icon and do it for this one as well. This is just for proper readability purpose. Again, I'm going to do this for the next one as well. I'm going to take this. If you notice, this also helps to make the ebook sort of bulky, which kind of adds to the perceived value. But you want to be conscious of the lengthiness of your ebook, especially depending on the solution that your viewers expect. For the purpose of this video, it's more like a solution people want to quickly skim through and gain. So if your ebook is within like 9 pages, totally fine. But when you're having an ebook of 50 pages, just to tell people what to fix because the scale won't move, either the ebook is going to be completely filled with unnecessary things, or you're going to overly stretch the ebook and people are not even going to get the value that they ought to get. So you want to also be super conscious of the length of the ebook depending on the expectations of your ideal audience. I'm going to do for this as well. I'm doing for this, fix expectations, and that's all. So now we are done with all of the subheadings. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to start reading through. You don't expect for AI to just give you something and you run ahead, you export it into a PDF and you start selling. Don't do that. You need to read through it to be sure that AI, first of all, aligns with your own experience, your own knowledge. And AI is actually, saying it the way you want it to say, because sometimes if you notice, AI can be incorrect sometimes. So you don't want to be creating ebooks that have some incorrect information and doesn't align well with the solution or experience you are trying to give out. So I've gone ahead to finish reading it and I think it's okay. Again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and still format it again. So I numbered this part of the camera and I'm still going to scroll down to see if there's any other thing that I could format. So here you can see people who get unstuck usually make one of these changes. So I can go ahead to add some numbers here. I'm also, giving space here. So now we already have like 10 pages for our ebook, I think, which is pretty much okay for the kind of ebook that we are doing. Now, for this kind of digital product, you'd also want to, know if you can actually just sell the digital product like that, or you can add some other things with it such that it makes it, really much more valuable as perceived by your audience or in the eyes of your audience. For example, you could add like a checklist, or you could add like a meal tracker alongside it. When you have all those things, you make it like a mini bundle. So they know that not just are they getting this digital product, they're also getting all of this at the side as well. Now, not all digital products necessarily have to come as bundles. It totally depends on what you are aiming for and the kind of digital products we are doing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create like a checklist as well. So I'm just going to say to ChatGPT that, can you give me a checklist on the daily actions to take to get the skill moving again, which is just simply going to break down the steps. So this also, of course, brings me to how you can create a checklist. So now we have all of this here. You can see the food and intake checks, movement and activity checks, and all of that. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to turn this into a PDF and I'm going to create the checklist separately. So this is like the PDF version, and you can see how very scannable it is. Very easy to skim. And so we have that. Now I'm going to go ahead and create a new document. And what I'm simply going to do is I'm going to go to ChatGPT and I'm going to just simply copy all of the write-ups under the checklist. I'm going to go ahead and paste that here. I can also format it using the same font like I used for the ebook as well, and change the spacing to 1.5, then as well the font size to 13. I can also change the heading to be uppercase. I can centralize it, and I'm just going to increase the font size to like 20 and add an underline. I can take this out here. I'm going to increase this size to be 18, and I'm going to copy it. I'm going to increase this also here, and I'm going to copy it here. I'm also going to do that here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take out these lines. So now that we have our checklist, I'm just also going to save that to my system. And I'm also going to save it as a PDF. And now we have our PDF right here. So if you should scroll down, we have the checklist over here. Now, do note that, like I said, ebook is just based on the format of the kind of digital product that my prospective audience are actually expected. It could also be templates, or it could also be courses. I've actually done a separate video on how you can create a template. So I'm going to be adding that to the end of this video. So you want to build the template first. You can then test it, you add some instructions, and of course you print it out, and you can then launch it. Your digital product would also be in form of a course. Now, when it comes to courses does take more work when you're trying to create them, but courses are where you can actually charge the most, because you are providing not just information in terms of like ebook, not just trying to save time in terms of template, not just step-by-step guides in terms of checklist, but you are providing a whole transformation. And with courses, of course, first of all, you need to know your modules, outline them. You think of it as a journey. What does someone need to learn first? For example, if you're teaching people how to design a website from scratch without coding, what do they need to learn first? Maybe you are teaching for beginners. The first thing you probably be teaching them is introduction to, what a website is. What is a website? What's a domain name? And all of that. And why do you need a website? And how a website could probably help your business and all of that. Then you want to take it from that first step to where you think they want to be. So from knowing what a website is and the domain name and all of that to how they can actually be able to create one themselves. After knowing your modules, you want to break them down into lessons. And each lesson should teach one thing, and it shouldn't be long. Now, the third thing is you want to record your lessons. Now, you don't need a fancy camera. You can use Zoom, you can use Loom, you can use your phone camera. The truth is that people are actually, more after what they can get. As long as they can see the step-by-step process, get the step-by-step transformation, then that is fine. You want to teach like you're talking to a friend. Use screen recordings when necessary. Bring real life or real world examples. If you are showing a process, you want to keep it really simple, understandable, and replicable. The fourth step you want to do is you can add worksheets or action steps. So after each lesson, you can give people something to do. Then the fifth step is, of course, posting it somewhere simple. You can use Gumroad, Teachable. A lot of digital product hosting platforms they give room to host variety. So digital product hosting platforms that can host ebook, checklist, templates can as well host courses as well. And of course, I'm going to be showing you that in a minute, where we are going to be hosting our ebook. And let me show you how to launch simply and effectively. The first step is to price your product reasonably. You don't want to underprice it out of fear, and you don't want to overprice it. You want to be in the middle. A good, rule of thumb is that for ebooks and checklists, of course, depending on your location, the complexity of the ebook, the people you are selling to, and the purchasing power of those people, your ebooks could range between $3 to like $27. Secondly, for templates, a good rule of thumb could be from like $10 to $47. Like I said, depending on the kind of templates, the complexity. For example, somebody who has a template pack for UGC websites, probably a template pack of like 200, may charge more than somebody who is simply doing a 20 content template pack for theme ideas. Now for courses, it could now range from as high as, $20 to as much as it is, of course, like I said, depending on the complexity as well. Let's say, for instance, I'm putting this particular product at $5. The next step will be to create a simple sales page. Now, you do not need a fancy website. You don't need something too extreme. All you can use is like a simple digital product hosting platform like Gumroad. And Gumroad only takes fees when you make a sale. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be making use of Gumroad. So I'm going to head to gumroad.com. And in gumroad.com, I'm going to click dashboard. Of course, you want to make sure you are already signed up and you already have an account with Gumroad. Now, your sales page should answer a few questions. But first of all, what is it? What's the digital product? Second of all, who is it for? Thirdly, what problem does it solve? It should also answer what is included and how much it costs. Now, we're heading to products and I'm going to click new product. Under this new product, this is where I'm going to add the name of the product. So I'm adding the name of the product here, and this is where you're going to choose the category. You can either choose an ebook or a digital product. I'm just going to leave it at digital product. And for the pricing, if you recall, I placed it at $5. A good rule of thumb that has always, actually worked for me in the past is that try to start your pricing very low. You can always raise it later. Remember, when you start getting people's engagement, say, oh, they want this, they want this, you're going to tell those people that you are creating a digital product on that. And it's going to be out in so months. So you can give a time limit. Maybe it's going to be out in July 2nd. It's going to be out in December 3rd. And it shouldn't be so far from when you said it. You don't say it today and the release date is 1 month from now. Like, it's going to kill the excitement, especially when it's just like an ebook, a guide, a checklist, or a template. You can say it's going to be out in like 2 weeks' time, and you give a specific date and you begin build the excitement on that platform that you are using. I'll be launching it at so date, and the first people to get it within the first 24 hours get it for just $1. Now, in my experience, here's what that helps me do. Firstly, it helps to get me more people through the door, so that way I have more number on my sales record on that platform where I can use as, some kind of credibility or proof to other people. Secondly, I'm able to get more reviews early, get the good reviews in, and use it as credibility and proof for others, to convince others when I actually push up the pricing. And thirdly, to also get reviews that I can actually work on, tweak on, and of course still refine it before I launch it at a much more higher price. So now, since our digital product is $5, I will take it down to like $3, at least for the launch phase, and I'm going to click on next. Now, this is where you want to upload your cover and you put in the summary, what they will get inside it. So now, to get the description, first of all, for Gumroad, I headed into Cloud AI and I said, I'm done creating my ebook and I want to upload it to Gumroad, and I would like you to give me a compelling description that appeals to my ideal audience. The description should contain what the digital product is, who it is for, what problem it solves, which includes what's included, which is the ebook and a checklist, and how much it costs, which is, of course, just $3. And now Cloud AI has given me like a really cool description. Now, the thing with descriptions is that, like I said, AI assists. You want to make sure that you are formatting and, of course, tweaking things as need be, such that it feels natural to your ideal audience. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy everything here all the way to the down. I'm going to copy it, head back, and I'm going to paste it. I can increase the text over here and see it more like a title. I'm going to increase the size for this. I could make it a header. So the next thing is we are working on the cover. Like I said, your cover is your first salesman. And for the cover, your cover should be at least for Gumroad, 1280 by 720 pixels and 72 dpi. So you can either use AI or Canva or a mix of both of them. So now I'm going to be using AI and I'm going to show you how I use AI to create an ebook cover design. Now I'm going to head to ChatGPT. In a new page, I'm saying, hi ChatGPT, I have created an ebook on weight stock. This is a mistake. What to fix when you're doing the right things for the scale of low. It's basically for people who have started trying to lose weight and they seem to be doing all of the right things. They seem to be on calorie deficit, doing exercises, moving more, and yet nothing has really changed. Or they feel like nothing has really changed in days or weeks. So I'm trying to create an ebook cover that represents that. Nothing too complex, right? Something mature. This is where I add like the details of what I want. And that also brings you to your creativity because AI will literally build on what creativity you already have. So I'm saying I want it to have a dark blue background, white text. The title is Weight Stock. The subtitle is, what to fix when you're doing the right things and the scale won't move. So the weight stop, which is the major title, should be bolder in caps. And I want the font to be slim and I want you to creatively add it on the book cover. The book cover should be a dimension of 8.5 by 11. So add it and be creative with it in a way that represents like a feet standing on a weight scale. Something of that sort that represents the weight doesn't move. And I want that image to represent one of the letters in the title. And ChatGPT gave us this. You can see this represented the letter in the title. Well, kind of looks really weird because it's doubled. But I do like the fact that it followed the whole color contrast I wanted, the text, colors, and of course, this feet standing on the weight scale. So what I'm doing is I'm adjusting the prompt and I'm saying in the stop, replace that feet on the scale with an actual U. And the feet on the scale should, of course, have a weight meter in the center between the two feet. And the title is what to fix when you are doing the right thing, but the scale won't move. And the scale won't move. I think I prompted it wrongly earlier, so I'm correcting that. ChatGPT adjusted it and gave me this. This is cool, but what I noticed is that when you open it, something really common with AI, you can see that the write-ups are really blurred out. It doesn't really look so clear. So what I'm going to do is I'm reprompting to say, okay, can you change the scale meter to rectangular such that the calibrated circle is inside and only a semicircle is visible? I tell it how the meter should be calibrated, where the red pointer should be, and of course the calibration clockwise and counterclockwise. And ChatGPT has gone ahead to give us this. This is good. However, if you still look at it, the calibration is incorrect. But this is something that I think we can actually adjust. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on it and I'm going to save that. Now on Gumroad, you need to know that your cover page should be at least 1280 by 720 pixels. So we're going to head over into Canva to ensure that is appropriate. In Canva, I already created that and it's super easy how I did it. All I did was click the plus icon, click on custom size and just input the width and the height, which is 1280 by 720, and it's going to give us this page design or this page size over here. Now I'm going to upload the image I downloaded from ChatGPT. I'm going to increase the size over here like so. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the image here like so. I'm going to click on edit and I'm going to go to grab text. This is where I can be able to grab whatever texts are in the image so that I can adjust them as preferred. So I'm going to click on this text here and I'm going to click on grab. So it has grabbed this and I'm going to change this to 80 and adjust the letter spacing like so, and I'm just going to space it out here. I can also reduce like the transparency a little bit here. And what I can do is I can click on the image again and click on edit. I would also use the grab text as well. I'll click on this and I'm going to delete it. I'll go back and replace this as well, like duplicate it and bring it over here. So this time it's going to be 50 and 60, just like so. And I'm going to zoom it all the way out. Click on share, click on download, and I'm going to click transparent background and click download over here. So now I have the cover already set up. I'm going to head back to Gumroad and I'm going to upload it. So this is how the cover is going to look like, and this is good. So for the thumbnail, this is automatically like the thumbnail that will be there. This image is what will appear in the Gumroad library, and I'm not going to change it because it's already a square. If you want to change it, you can decide to upload something new. And the call to action, which is really important and influences the rate at which people would want to click and buy. There are different options. So I'm going to leave it at I want this. And for the summary, you can just say you will get a straightforward guide to the 9 most common reasons weight loss stalls and how to fix each one. So I'm going to copy this here. I'll head to Gumroad and I'm going to paste that here. So I'll say, and I can also say plus a simple actionable checklist to help you identify which issue is affecting you right now. And I'm going to add that at the end here as well. Again, all these are details that you can add depending if your ebook or your digital product has multiple variants. So we have fixed the pricing over here. So we've done the major stuff. Then for the content is where you want to add the digital products as well as the checklist. I'm going to click on upload files and go to my computer files. And I'm going to copy both the weight stock checklist and the weight stock book. I can title it and say weight stock mini bundle, and I can click publish and continue. So once you click on publish and continue, your book is all set. So if you want to click on preview, meaning that when people click on this URL, because this is the URL to your digital product, and when people click on it, it's going to take them to this page over here, just like so, which looks good. And when they go through your description and everything and they really want to get the book, they can click on I want this, and they'll be able to go straight to the checkout page and purchase that. Now, the next step that you want to do is that you want to sell to the audience you already have. You do not need to have a big audience, but you need to have something. So the audience you're selling it to is the same audience you used in validating the product. And which is why, if you remember, I told you that you keep updating them, maybe tell them, oh, it's going to be out on so date, and keep sending in, value posts just to keep them excited on their toes waiting for the product. And when it comes out, you tell them the exact problem it's helping them solve, the product name, what's inside, and where they can grab it. The next step is to create urgency. Now, you created excitement before. Now you want to create urgency. Like I said, one way to create urgency is pricing. For example, probably the pricing is at $5, and you say the price is $5, but for the first 24 hours, I'm giving it at just $3. So that is like a launch discount before its price goes back to whatever price it ought to be initially. And that way, because people do not want to have the fear of missing out, like, oh, I should have gotten this product when it was cheaper, they would want to get the product. Another way you can create urgency is by capping the number of spots. So you can say, I'm putting the price at $3, but only for the first 20 people who are getting the product. So that way, there's also like a fear of missing out, and people want to get in the spots and get it at the cheaper price. Urgency encourages people to act now instead of procrastinating or forgetting. Now, the fifth step you want to do is follow up. You want to follow up. You don't just post ones that, oh, the launch is on and you disappear. You want to share behind the scene content. You want to show testimonials if you get there. You want to remind people that the launch window is closing. That way, they get reminded that they should act now and act fast. You don't need a massive launch. All you need is feedback, buyers, and validation. Once you make your first sale, you need to celebrate, because that is a solid proof that your marketing works. If you made 5 sales, that means you've made money while helping people, because that shows that people are actually getting intrigued by the way you're positioning your product. And if you do not make any sales, don't panic, because there's a reason to that. All you need to do is look inward, see what to fix, and refine as you go. Now, let's talk about that next. Maybe you've done all this, but it's not selling. It's usually one of these 4 things. The first is that the problem wasn't painful enough. People buy solutions to problems that actually frustrate them. So if your product solves like a nice to have problem instead of a need to have problem, it won't sell. For example, a template for organizing your desktop files. Someone may need it, but it's not urgent. It's a nice to have, but it's not a need to have. Whereas a template for landing pages that convert visitors into email subscribers is more urgent, because people want to get more email subscribers. They want to grow their email list to get more potential customers in. That seems more urgent and more, need to have kind of problem. So how do you fix that? You want to go back to your problem research. Find a problem people are actively searching for solutions to right now, because you could have made a mistake in that part. Now, the next reason why your digital product may not be selling is that the format doesn't match the problem. Probably what people want a step-by-step thing. Maybe you created an ebook when people really needed a course or a template or a checklist. or you made a template when they needed a full course with hand holding. How do you fix that? What you want to do is you want to engage with your audience. You want to talk to them, ask what would make this more helpful to you and adjust accordingly. You also want to listen to feedback, to reviews. Maybe people could say, the ebook is nice, I learned a lot, but I would have preferred if I could be able to also see it and follow along. That is a review to tell you what you should be able to adjust in your digital product. The third reason why your digital product doesn't sell is because the messaging is unclear. Now, if somebody lands on your sales page and they cannot immediately understand what you are offering, for example, they go to my Gumroad page and they don't even understand, they don't even know what you're talking about or why they need it or who it is for, how does it relate to them, they would leave because your copy is too vague. So how do you fix that? You want to rewrite your sales page with clarity. For example, if you look at this sales page here, wait, stop. What to fix when you're doing the right things, but the scale won't move. Now, when you read into the copy, you see a little bit breakdown on that, where I say, okay, you've cleaned up your diet, you're working out consistently, you're drinking water, avoiding junk food, ticking all the boxes, yet week after week, the number on the scale stays exactly the same. That clause alone has the power to resonate with anybody who's facing such similar scenario. Focus on the transformation. Instead of a guide to productivity, you can say a 5-minute morning routine that helps you get more done by 10 a.m. It's more specific and it helps you niche down on the kind of productivity you are referring to. Now, the fourth reason that your digital product doesn't sell is because your expectations are wrong. Maybe you're expecting 100 sales in the first week. And sometimes it doesn't just work like that, especially if you are a beginner without prior establishment of names online or people don't really know what you're capable of. Your expectations could be way beyond the roof. Maybe you launched once and gave up. Maybe you didn't give people enough time to see and trust you first. So how do you fix that? You want to reset your expectation. Your first launch is about learning, not winning. You want to learn, relearn, and refine as you go. You want to treat it as a market research. You get feedback, you adjust, and you launch again. Every failed product is a feedback if you know how to read it. My first digital product did not make so much sale. I only made like 1-2 sales. And I got to learn that the digital product was way too generic. It didn't solve a specific problem. I didn't even go to do any problem research or validation. I just brought out a digital product I thought people would need. And that was where the problem lied. Most successful products didn't work perfectly the first time. They got refined, repositioned, or relaunched. The difference between people who succeed and those who quit is that the successful ones keep reiterating, they keep refining, they keep trying to test what works so that they can finally see what clicks. Now, do note that the launch phase is not the end of the digital product. You need to understand that one single digital product could sell for years. So you don't expect that the digital product should die after the launch phase. You need to keep promoting it. So after your launch phase, you don't just want to keep promoting buy now kind of content. That is when you want to start, focusing on value. If you are leveraging on a platform, which I would advise to focus on one platform, and I will not advise for you to run ads first, especially when you're launching a very, very cheap digital product of $3-5. You may not really want to focus on ad because in as much as ads may get you sales, you're going to really be spending more on cost before profit. You want to go to communities, talk about what people are facing because this is your experience. Share your insights, post where people ask questions with regards to that kind of thing. You want to give honest feedback, honest answer. And once in a while, you can say, I actually made a step-by-step guide as well as a checklist that would help you know what to fix on this test. This is what has worked for me and all of that, yada, yada, yada. Click the link in my bio if you would like to get it. That way, people then see your post, they go to your profile, check your bio, and go ahead and check your digital product. And that is how you keep going at it. And you want to look at it as 70% value, 30% selling. You don't just want to post one value post and you start selling buy now. You need to establish some level of trust. People need to know that they can get some level of tangible value for you to even think or to even perceive some level of worth in your digital product. Now, this has to be consistent. You don't just do it once and expect to see magic. You need to double down on it. When your digital product starts getting sales, you can then think of scaling. And in a sense of scaling, I would not advise again to still go ahead and run ads. Instead, your scaling could be another digital product where you can price higher. For example, it could be like a 30 days fitness coaching program where you're coaching someone who wants to lose so pounds, and you're going to be there all through the way, giving him meal plans, giving him all of that. Now, you can then price that particular digital product at probably, let's say, $250. So that way, you are using your very low ticket digital product, which is this $3 that we just worked on, the weight stock digital product, as like an entry field. When people go through your weight stock, what to fix when you're doing the right thing, but your scale won't move, and they feel like they got a lot of value from that ebook, when they need help, you will be the first person they will turn to for help. So those same people who became your customers, you can pitch to them your digital product that is much more advanced or that is much more expensive, because they now trust you. They now know what you're worth, and you have a better chance getting more sales in that. So if you decide to run ads, you would need to run ads on your low ticket digital products, which is like this weight stock, right? And when you launch ads on this weight stock, you're going to get sales, like I said, but you may not get profit. However, your profit is not coming from this weight stock. So you're not really going to get profit from this front end. Instead, you're going to be looking at profit you're going to make from the back end offer, meaning when people buy this weight stock and probably, they join your X community or they join your email list, whatever channel you're sending them to, you can then pitch to them later about your much more intense program where you, of course, charge higher. And that is how you scale your digital product. But do note that this does take a period of time. You're not releasing a low ticket offer today and a high ticket offer tomorrow. You want to ensure that you gain some level of establishment with some people, with your community on whatever social media platform that you are using. And that is how to scale. When I launched my ebook, and of course it was my best-selling ebook, the ebook that I launched it for a whole year. I kept on selling it and I made quite a number of sales. And the next year was when I then did like a course to it. And guess what? The first set of people who got that course were those who got my ebook first. Because why? They already knew my worth. They knew what I was capable of, and they knew how much value they could get if they could get such value from that low ticket ebook. So now you have a complete system for idea, validation, creation, selling, and scaling. But this only works if you apply it. You need to know that you need to be consistent. It is not a magic wand kind of system that you just do abracadabra. You need to be committed, consistent, and you need to be willing to know how to refine, change things, move things around, switch things up in order for you to get a product that is going to sell really well. Like I said earlier, I said I was going to show you how to create templates, which I've already done in a separate video, and I'm going to be adding it there. So just in case your digital product happens to be templates. So I want to show you how to create a template. And the first one is how you can create like a social media kind of template with Canva. And I'm also going to show you how to create planners, right? So I'm going to be attaching 2 different videos here, depending on which one you want to check out. I would suggest you first of all check out the Canva templates on social media, first of all. Then you can also go and check the planner. So click the video on the right now to go check out how you can create templates using Canva that actually sell. Stay tuned. Ciao.